Al Franken. Al Franken hits the nail on the head. One of the statements that he made is it is time for Democrats to be just as hard, just and as untethered, not untethered necessarily, but do exactly what the Republicans are doing. It seems to be working for them. Obstructionists, and still they run the risk of taking over Congress again. Well, maybe it is time to take the appropriate weapon where it needs to be taken. Let's listen to Al Franken, and then we'll go ahead and take it on the other side.
Hey, Senator, what do you make of this McConnell threat? Are they really going to sit it out? And are the Democrats doing enough, getting angry enough, making enough noise?
He's going to sit it out. I said he's destroyed the Senate. He did more filibusters of executive nominees during Obama than been done in the previous history of the country. This is just him being ruthless. Merrick Garland was that. We got to start doing that. One, we are going to have to do this. It would be insane to default. Absolutely insane. We can't do it. The dollar is the default currency of the world. We can't let it not be. I have confidence that we will step in there and Mitch will do exactly what he says. But we have to start being as ruthless as him. For example, the Freedom to Vote Act, which was negotiated by Amy Klobuchar and Joe Manchin and others, is a great bill. But we need to pass it because state legislatures have passed these voting bills, these election bills in these states that say that the state legislature can overturn the results. That's kind of what Trump wanted them to do last year. We can't allow that to happen. Joe Manchin says he will not get rid of the filibuster, but we can modify it. And Norm Ornstein and I have a plan to do that. Instead of 60 votes to stop a filibuster, you need 41 to sustain a filibuster, and 41 senators have to show up on the floor, and they have to stay there. They need 41, and they have to debate. It's a talking filibuster. They have 50. They can go back and forth, but the average senator could only be off the floor, Republican senator only be off the floor for 5 hours, and it won't last long.
But to your call to action from your fellow Democrats, you know better than most people the cultural difference between the parties. Democrats have always been and continue to be kind of culturally skewed towards student council presidents, increasingly Whole Foods and electric car enthusiasts. As Rick Wilson famously said, Democrats bring a soup ladle to a gunfight. Meantime, you're up against stone cold killers.
Yeah, well, we have to stop it. We have to be stone cold killers. On the voting rights, this is an existential threat to our democracy. We lose our democracy, we lose everything. So we have to pass this bill, and you can carve out and say for elections, this is our democracy. We can carve that out and pass it with 51 votes. Or you can do what I'm talking about, which would restore the filibuster to what it was, which was something that was rare when a minority cared about something. I would love for them to debate these voting laws in these states. I would love to hear the debate on why you can't hand somebody water in a line who's been waiting for hours, who's still waiting for hours to vote.
Yeah, I'd show up for that debate, too. If memory serves, you served with Manchin, but not Sinema. What generally do you make of the Mike Nichols and Elaine May of the U.S. Senate?
Nichols and May were much funnier. Joe, I know very, very well. There's stuff he's proposed, I think, in the last day or so that they're good things. For example, getting rid of taxing carried interest as capital gains. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. And Sinema was very helpful on the bipartisan infrastructure package. She's going to get there. They have to get there. There's so many great things in this package. There's Medicare negotiating for pharmaceuticals. We pay 3 times as much for the same pharmaceuticals as Europe. And that's because the biggest purchaser of pharmaceuticals in our country can't negotiate. All their governments negotiate. That's ridiculous. A child tax credit, reduced childhood poverty by half, biggest middle class, working class tax cut, low income tax cut in the history of the country. people like the elements. We got to start talking about what the elements are and not call it the reconciliation package.
Absolutely. Stop calling it the reconciliation package and call it the package that serves the people. And by the way, what he says is right. We have to, Democrats, progressives, need to become ruthless as Republicans are, and figuratively stone cold killers. Here's the deal. Americans don't vote for Republicans because they like Republicans or because they like what they have to offer. They vote for Republicans because of the simulated strength that they think they have. And there's a certain thing that people like, and that is they like when there is a disposition of strength, when you have someone showing that we will get something done for you. So if Democrats go around and they just can't get anything done, now we did well. We got the rescue plan passed, and that was excellent, and it helped a whole lot of people out of poverty, but we need quite a bit more. If they believe that Democrats have done all that they're able to do, then they may start believing the crap that comes from the right as far as what we can do for you, which in effect really is not much, not anything. We're just not Democrats fighting among each other. So the bottom line is simple. Be as ruthless in supporting the American people. That's a display of strength. And the figurative statement of stone cold killers mean we are going to come to you and tell you, we have the majority. This is what's going to be done. If you want some of your things as well, join the team, or goodbye, and move on and move forward. That is the one thing we need to do. Stop hanging around and being concerned about trying to be bipartisan. They are not interested in bipartisanship. They are interested in power solely. And those centrist Democrats, we have to determine whether centrists are the new extremists when we're speaking about policies for the American people.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.